Hey everybody, my name is Zoe. I'm one of the sales managers here at Barn to Door, and I'm here with my colleague Alessandro.
Hey Zoe, I'm Alessandro. I'm the success manager for the onboarding team.
Today we're going to talk about 3 farm success stories with delivery. So, super excited to dive in and talk to you about a couple of farmers who have been really successful taking on delivery over the last year or so.
So, the first farm success story that we're going to talk about is Dirty Girl Produce.
Yeah, we are super excited about Dirty Girl Produce. They're a farm that's actually in Santa Cruz County in California, and they have seen a ton of success since the beginning of 2021, really taking on deliveries and implementing subscriptions to a lot of loyal customers on a really regular basis, which is something they just weren't doing at all pre-pandemic.
Yeah, so when the farmers market shut down, they had to pivot to selling online, and they really initially implemented this delivery service to give their customers access to local food when they couldn't go to the markets, and it made their products accessible to hundreds of new buyers throughout the area. So some of the tactics that they used to implement this was to narrow the options available. And so when they wanted to open up their online store, they focused primarily on selling 2 versions of a farm box that they had. They had a kind of like a basic salad box and then a little bit more a comprehensive farm box that had all of the best products that were in season that they were growing from their farm, and that they were the ones that were choosing what went into those boxes.
Yeah, I love that from them too, just because they could actually pick like what was seasonal at a given time of year. And then the other thing that they were able to really maximize on with that was just offering, like Alessandro said, a couple of sizes even for, potential different customer groups. And then they've just seen so much success with delivering direct door to door. I know I actually order for my parents from Dirty Girl Produce. So that extra level of convenience for buyers has made a huge difference for these guys.
Yeah, when we work with farms that are onboarding with the system, we always recommend simplifying your packaging, your bundles, and your subscriptions. And this is something that Joe already had in mind when he came over to work with us. So it was really kind of easy to implement this for him and his store, and continue to work with his customer base as it was growing. But this is something you definitely want to think about, is making sure that your bundle sizes are the right size to the different households in the country, and that you're always offering people that subscription option so you can lock in that recurring revenue as part of that.
Dirty Girl Produce also has a really unique farm brand. They're in Santa Cruz in California, like I'd mentioned before. So they're near the beach. And so from their website to their packaging to pretty much every touch that they have with potential customers, they have a really great consistent branding that really locks in with the potential customer basis within their community.
Yeah, putting a logo on our box, using reusable bags that have your branded logo on that as well. These are great ways to make sure that people know your customers, and then potentially other people that see your customers with your products, where they got it, and then they, can strike up a conversation. Oh, hey, where'd you get that? That's really cool. And they can send them to your store. One of the great things about subscriptions is that they help you save time as the farmer. They help your customers save time without having to go and reorder every week. And this is fantastic because we know that it accounts for 40% of all the sales that are going through Barn to Door right now. And this is going to help increase your sales at the end of the day.
As far as subscriptions go as well, when it comes to a certain product like produce or proteins, being able to offer consistent packages to your customers gives them even an out for saying, hey, I'm not going to go to the produce section in the grocery store, which is what a lot of Joe's customers are able to do.
So this is just a nice sample of what Joe's store looks like. You can see that he has his farm box as a single purchase item, and then he has a subscription version of that. That way, if people want to lock in 10 weeks, they can do that. Or if they just want to buy it for 1 week, it makes it really easy for people to make a purchase as part of this.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the less decisions that your customers need to make while they're trying to buy from you, the easier it is for them to add that item to their cart and check out.
Our second farm success story is Dan and Debbie's Creamery, located in Ely, Iowa. So they pivoted online to give their customers a convenient way to access their products. They are a local creamery, and they take a stance of educating their customers on what makes their products unique, which helps them to create a strong brand loyalty and trust that differentiates them from others in the marketplace.
Dan and Debbie's has done just such a phenomenal job of tying in their branding to help educate their different potential types of customers. They actually started with just 2 delivery zip codes and are now at 15 different delivery zip codes. So have seen a ton of growth there. and have just done a really good job of this by engaging customers across all different channels and making sure that they're bringing up their story really consistently in all of the different places customers are looking to buy from the farm.
Yeah. So something else that we focus on during the onboarding process is making sure that people have their store links across all the different channels that they're going to be working on, whether it's an existing website that they have or their social media channels or even their email marketing streams. And so this is a great example of how when you start to do that, you can really branch out your customer base by giving them consistent communication and sharing your story about your products, what makes your practices essential to creating a higher quality product as part of this. And this will create customer loyalty and keep them top of mind when they're going throughout their day. So if they're thinking about like, what do I need to get for milk or for bread, for cheese, for proteins, vegetables throughout the week, that they see your brand on their social feed, they get it in their email inbox, or maybe they just go to your website in general to kind of see what's going on as you share your story with them across those different channels.
Yeah, and that's really what has made these guys so memorable, in my opinion. I mean, they're really focused on offering a product line that's all full fat. And so that is really carried over into them coming in and diversifying their product range as well. I think they're offering, ice creams that are full fat and cheese curds as well. So they've really taken their brand and their uniqueness and put that into a whole bunch of different products to help grow the farm.
Yeah, and one thing that we've seen with a lot of the farms that we work with that maybe focus on one specific specialized product like milk or honey or maple is to diversify your products by working with other farms in your area. And so they work with up to, I think, a little bit over 30 different artisans or producers in the area, so they can still, offer different types of products and really make themselves as a one-stop shop for their customers' grocery experience, since they are the ones that are going to be helping to fulfill the deliveries that maybe those other farms can't.
So based on this data, it's clear that consistent communication, like order reminders, will easily increase our farmers' sales. Farms who are consistently sending out these order reminders are seeing a 28% higher average order volume than farms who aren't. So here's a quick screenshot of Josie's social media in terms of Instagram and Facebook. She does a really great job of communicating with her customers really consistently and sharing their story as well as their branding on a regular basis. Here's a couple of her products that she shared over time. And she does a really good job of making sure that customers are hearing what's new and available, what some of her different practices are, and being sure that they're able to make purchases on a regular basis.
Yeah, she also will do posts about some of the other products that her partner farms are offering. And this is all really to help drive an increase in sales and order volume each week. So our last farm success story is Bennett Farms in Michigan. They pivoted to sell directly online to their customers to help build relationships with them and satisfy local demand for access to clean proteins. So their business is really focused on giving customers a convenient purchase experience with consistent communication. And they do that primarily through email, offering subscriptions and home delivery in the Michigan, Indiana areas.
Yeah, and I actually had an opportunity to speak with Tom of Bennett Farms a couple of weeks back, and he had mentioned just how important it is to them to focus on convenience, whether it is through, the online shopping experience or even getting food directly to people's doors, because that's what's going to be the tipping point for the farm.
So the way that they've been able to implement this is by charging a delivery fee. So typically you'll see farms charge anywhere from $8 to $12. This is really to help to offset the cost of gas or any delivery drivers that you need to hire. But this is super important as far as making sure that you have a successful delivery program. Nothing is free in life. And so customers are used to paying for the cost of delivery, whether they're doing it for their Grubhub orders or their DoorDash, Amazon, all of these things come with a cost. And so the customers are used to that and they expect it, right? So it's really important to make sure that you're covering the cost of providing that service as part of offering a delivery.
Yeah, and once you get to the point of doing at least 3 deliveries an hour, we're generally seeing that our farms are starting to actually make a profit off of delivery alone. And then in terms of utilizing routing apps, they are just such a massive time saver for farms, whether you are doing things old school or utilizing Google Maps to route manually. Taking advantage of routing apps and making sure that you're able to see a route within one click has made all the difference for a lot of our farms. Alessandro, can you talk a little bit about what this looks like?
Yeah, so we have a full integration with Routific. They're one of the best in class routing tools available on the market. And so with that integration, you're able to sync your pick and pack list directly with one click. You can streamline your route planning and driver coordination once you're in your Routific app, and you can delight your customers with order updates via text and communications in the app directly, right? So this is just a fantastic way to help save you a lot of time by using a tool that will, help to automate a lot of the route planning that you may have done in the past, or it may be an improvement on a routing tool that you may have been using presently.
Yeah, and then do not feel like you need to deliver all over the state or all over your county, even. I think the important things with delivery is just to make sure that you're focusing on a couple of delivery zones or even one delivery zone. So this way you can help kind of concentrate your buyers and really build a brand presence within a certain area.
Yeah, exactly. And having those customer notifications and real-time order tracking is another great way to make sure that you're building on that brand and loyalty and trust, because your customers will know that when they place an order from you, when they're getting it, what time they're getting it, and they can track it in real time as well. Here's a great quote from Tom on how having a routing app has really helped to make his delivery program successful for him and scalable, right? So being able to have all this information pulled into your routing system with one click has given him the ability to service up to 20 stops in under 2 hours, which is really fantastic. Kind of like Zoe said previously, once you start to do over 3 deliveries in an hour, you can start to see a profit. So you can see that this has become very successful for Tom, and making this stuff very easily scalable is what we're trying to help you guys with.
Here is an example of how much routing apps can really improve the efficiency of deliveries for your farm. Starting out, if you have ever tried doing deliveries manually, obviously it takes a lot of time. You're going in there one at a time and adding different latitude and longitudes or locations of all the places that you're trying to go, and end up wasting a ton of time. Looking forward at, routing softwares or routing integrations like Routific, you're actually able to, with one click, see the route that you're going to be driving for each given day. And even more so, right, you can see that this farmer is only taking right turns, so they don't even have to stop at red lights. So Alessandro, some of our listeners might be wondering a little bit more about how delivery service is even related directly to their farm brand. Can you help expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So we know that by offering a delivery service, you're able to offer your customers a convenient purchasing experience, which is probably the most important thing when it comes to shopping online, is to have that convenience. Another thing that it will help with your brand is that it gives you the opportunity to have your brand noticed by others in the community, whether you have kind of like the example of Dan and Debbie's delivery van with their branding on it. It gives you the chance to see that vehicle driven throughout your town or your area. If you have like your box sitting on someone's porch, other people in the area might notice as well and kind of want to find out a little bit more about that, ask their neighbors. We know that people spread that information through word of mouth, or they share that information on social, and the convenience of having that delivery service is tremendous. And the last thing is that it really, as starts to establish your farm as a real business and a different offering that kind of separates you from others in the marketplace that maybe are only focused on pickup, or try to do things on like a to be arranged basis. This is really kind of the next step to help to grow and scale the business.
Yeah. I can't tell you the number of farmers that have just told me that customers have been like chasing them down the street after their delivery vans because they've seen the van on a regular basis. They want to buy local food, and they're just really excited to see who's serving the rest of the community.
Exactly. So to recap what we've talked about today, the first thing that you want to do when you're thinking about offering a delivery service to help increase your brand exposure is to, one, limit the options and simplify your packaging. Focus on bundles and subscriptions for your products.
Yeah, and the second one there is just making sure that customers are able to see you and what you have to offer across every single channel or place that they might be looking to buy. So like Alessandro said earlier, making yourself available to purchase from on Facebook or directly through emails is going to be really important for the growth of your farm sales.
The third thing that we talked about was ways that you can diversify your product range. So if you are focused primarily on one type of product and that's all you have, then working with other farms in your area or with other purveyors to help kind of expand your product line. But again, keeping your packaging simple and limiting the options that you have.
The fourth one there is to charge a delivery fee always. People are willing to pay it. On average, our firms are charging between $8 to $12 per delivery. Just by doing 3 deliveries an hour, you're oftentimes going to be making a profit off of those deliveries.
Lastly, save time with using a routing app. We have a direct integration with Routific. They are a fantastic routing tool available, but using a routing tool is going to really help to streamline and scale your delivery service, and it'll help save you time, gas, and money in the long run by switching over to that. So now we're on to the worksheet section of the talk today. So this is going to be a fantastic way for you to kind of figure out, if you're interested in doing delivery, how you can start to plan that. And this is something that we do with the farms that work with us during the onboarding process. So if we kind of look at the different questions here, the first one is going to be, determine your delivery area. You can think about, one zip code that maybe you could go to target on a regular basis, or if it's your local town that you want to offer delivery in, start by picking one area and focus on that to kind of help determine your delivery area. The second thing here is think about what you want to charge for your delivery fee, right? We want to be able to cover the cost of potentially a driver and gas. So $5 is a great place to start. And then you can kind of go upwards from there, depending on maybe how far you need to travel. Again, kind of to Zoe's point, $8 to $12 is also something that we see very commonly when farms are working with delivery fees. The last one here is how to plan your promotion. So now that you're going to be offering delivery, how do you want to put that information in front of your customers, right? So try thinking about one tactic that you might want to do. Maybe it's creating a promo code for a customer's first delivery, or it's a newsletter that you're going to send out that's going to announce that you're going to be offering delivery. Maybe it's a series of posts that you're going to do on your social feed stories with you driving your first order to a test customer or something along those lines to help create some excitement around this new option that you're going to be offering your customers. So feel free to pull from the examples that we just talked about, the 3 farm success stories, right? Because all of these things apply across all the farms that we talked about, and they can apply to your farm as well.
If you guys are interested in learning more about route planning and want to get a better idea of our integration with Routific, please check out our blog. It's at barntodor.com/resources. This is a really great one on just implementing best practices and making sure that you can fully understand all of the different things that you can do with Routific.
We also have a delivery bootcamp, which you can check out in the Learn Center for Barn to Door customers.
Thank you so much for listening in to Alessandro and I talk about those 3 farm success stories utilizing delivery.
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Barn to Door. You can always find out more information by going to barntodor.com or check out any of our ebooks, podcasts, or blogs that are available on the website. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.